Effectors, tissues or organs which respond to stimuli, e.g. muscles and glands. Embryo, the stage of development between the fertilized egg, zygote, and the newly formed organism. Endocrine system, a system of organs which produce hormones. Endoskeleton, the skeleton which forms inside the body of an organism. Epidermis, the outer layer of cells in an animal or plant. Exoskeleton. IGCSE and O-Level Smart Biology M. Rashid Chatha 030046100457. A skeleton which forms on the outside of an organism. Fovea, region of the retina immediately opposite the lens. It consists of densely packed cones and provides the clearest vision. Geotropism, growth movement of a plant in response to gravity. Gland, a collection of cells which manufactures and releases into the body useful substances such as enzymes or hormones. Glycogen, a carbohydrate similar to starch. It is stored in the liver and muscles of mammals and converted into glucose as the body requires energy for metabolism. Gray matter, nervous tissue in the brain and spinal cord consisting mainly neuron cell bodies. Homeostasis, maintenance of a constant internal environment. Homeothermic, organisms those which are capable of maintaining a constant body temperature. Hormone, a chemical produced in small amounts which helps to coordinate processes such as metabolism, growth, and reproduction. Hydrostatic skeleton. Support which comes from water in the cells of an organism. Hydrotropism, a growth movement in plants in response to water. Hypothermia, cooling of the body until it is well below the normal 37 degrees Celsius. Insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas. It helps to control the amount of sugar in the blood. Iris, the colored part of the eye, consisting of radial and circular muscles which alter the size of the pupil and control the amount of light entering the eye. Ligament band of fibers around a joint in the skeleton which holds the bones together. Malpighian layer, a region of rapidly dividing cells beneath the epidermis of the skin. It replaces cells worn away from the skin surface. Motor end plate, part of a motor neuron which is embedded in a muscle. Motor neuron, a neuron which conducts impulses from the central nervous system to a muscle or gland. Neuron, a nerve cell consisting of a cell body and nerve fibers. It conducts nerve impulses. Orientation behavior. Behavior which allows animals to move in a particular direction depending on a received stimulus. Origin, of a muscle, the anchorage point of a muscle, i.e. the end which does not move during contraction. Osmoregulation, control of the movement of water in and out of cells by osmosis. Phototropism, the growth movement of a plant in response to the direction of light. IGCSE and O-Level Smart Biology M. Rashid Chatha 030046100457. Poikilothermic, organisms those which cannot maintain a constant body temperature, but vary according to the temperature of their surroundings. Pupil, the hole in the iris of the eye through which light enters. Receptors, the regions of sensory nerve fibers where stimuli are received and converted into nerve impulses, e.g. the rods and cones of the eye. Reflex, a response that does not have to be learned, and occurs very quickly with no conscious thought, e.g. withdrawal from a painful stimulus. Retina, a layer of light-sensitive cells at the back of the eye on which images are projected. Rods, rod-shaped light-sensitive cells found in the retina. They work in dim light but do not respond to differences in color. Sebaceous gland, a gland in the hair follicles of the skin. It secretes an oily substance called sebum which makes skin supple, waterproof, and mildly antiseptic. Sensory neuron. A neuron which conducts impulses from a receptor, e.g. sense organ, to the central nervous system. Stimulus, anything which produces a response in an organism, e.g. a painful burn on the skin. Suspensory ligaments, fibers which hold the lens in position within the eye. Sweat gland, a gland in the skin. It produces water which evaporates into the air and cools the body. Synapse, a microscopic gap over which nerve impulses pass when moving from one nerve cell to the next. Synovial joint, any freely movable joint in the skeleton, e.g. the elbow. Tendon, a strong band of fibers which attaches muscles to bones. Threshold, the level of stimulation at which nerve impulses begin to pass from a sense organ, or to cross over a synapse. Thyroid, an endocrine gland in the neck. It produces a hormone called thyroxine which has a major influence on physical and mental development. Tropism, a movement in a plant in which the direction of root and shoot growth alters according to the direction of a stimulus. Vitreous humor. A liquid that fills the front chamber of the eye between the lens and the retina. Vertebral column, the backbone or spine. A chain of small bones called vertebrae that support the body, protect the spinal cord, and permit bending movements. White matter, nervous tissue in the brain and spinal cord which consists of nerve fibers. Adrenaline. IGCSE and O-Level Smart Biology M. Rashid Chatha 030046104457. A hormone secreted by the adrenal glands. It prepares the body for instant action by increasing the rate of heartbeat, blood pressure, and blood sugar level. Short MCQs with right answers. 1. The diagram shows a reflex arc. Which label identifies the motor neuron? B. 2. The diagram shows a reflex arc. Which statement describes what happens if this person touches a hot object with their finger? The person is not able to feel their finger touching the hot object but is able to move their finger away from the heat stimulus. 3. The diagram shows the structures in a reflex arc. What is X? Relay neuron. 4. Which structures contain neurotransmitter molecules in neurons? Vesicles. 5. What is the name of the junction between two neurons? Synapse. 6. Which statement about adrenaline is correct? It increases the breathing rate. 7. Which structures contain neurotransmitter molecules in neurons? Vesicles. 8. What is the name of the junction between two neurons? Synapse. 9. Which statement about adrenaline is correct? It increases the breathing rate. 10. The diagram shows a seedling growing inside a dark box. Which type of responses affect the direction of growth of the root and the shoot inside the box? IGCSE and O-Level Smart Biology M. Rashid Chatha 030046104457. 11. The diagram shows seedlings in two experiments on the tropic response of seedlings to gravity and light. Which stimuli have the seedlings responded to? 12. Changes in light intensity cause changes in the diameter of the pupil in the eye. Which rows show the pupil reflex? 13. A hormone is injected into a person to reduce their blood glucose concentration. Which endocrine gland is not functioning properly in a person who needs to have this injection? Pancreas. 14. The diameter of a person's pupil is measured as the light intensity is varied. During which time period does the light intensity increase fastest? 15. On a warm sunny day, a swimmer climbs out of a pool and sits on the edge to dry. After a few minutes, the swimmer's skin begins to feel cold. What has caused this to happen? Water on the skin absorbs heat from the body and evaporates. 16. A genetic disorder causes too much insulin to be secreted. What is the effect of the secretion of too much insulin? Blood glucose concentration is low. 17. Auxin is a chemical produced by plants. What is the role of auxin? It stimulates cells in the plant shoot to elongate. IGCSE and O-Level Smart Biology M. Rashid Chatha 030046104457. 18. A person blinks when an insect flies into their eye. What explains this reflex action? Receptor cells in the cornea detect the insect impulses are sent down sensory to blink. 19. The graph shows changes in the diameter of a person's pupils while outdoors on a sunny day. At which time did the person take off their sunglasses? 20. The graph shows the blood glucose concentration for a person in the hours after eating breakfast at 7 o'clock. 21. Which level of blood glucose concentration is approximately the set point? 80 mg cm3. 22. Which hormone causes blood glucose concentration to be lowered? Insulin. 23. Which statement about auxin is correct? Auxin spreads through the plant from the shoot tip. 24. What is true for a runner at the end of a marathon race, in a hot climate? Sweating and vasodilation. 25. After a meal, the concentration of blood glucose increases. What then causes the concentration of blood glucose to return to normal? Insulin. 26. A bright light suddenly shines into a person's eyes. What happens? The pupils become smaller. 27. Where are hormones removed from the blood and broken down in the human body? Liver. 28. Which substance is lost from the body by the kidneys, lungs, and skin? Water. 29. When a bright light is shone into the eye, the diameter of the pupil decreases. What is this? A simple reflex. 30. Which type of cells do all sense organ contain? Receptor. 31. Read the following sentence. In order to prevent the human body from losing heat, the arterioles supplying the skin become narrow. Now which process does this sentence describe? Constriction. 32. During a long race, an athlete's skin temperature rises. What causes this? Vasodilation of the blood vessels in the skin. 33. A boy accidentally touches a very hot object and immediately takes his hand away. In this reflex action, what is the effector? A muscle in his arm. 34. How does the insulin move from the pancreas, where it is produced, to the cell where it acts? In the blood. IGCSE and O-Level Smart Biology. M. Rashid Chatter 030046100457. 35. Hormones and the nervous system both control our bodies. Which statement about the control provided by a hormone is correct? Slow response and long-lasting. 36. How does sweating cool the body? Water in sweat evaporates from the skin. 37. Which characteristic is shown when a person detects a gas in the air by its smell? Sensitivity. 38. What is the main function of sweating? To cool the body. 39. Which response is a result of geotropism? Roots growing downwards. 40. Which is the light-sensitive part of the eye? Retina. 41. What is meant by the term phototropism? Directional growth in response to light. 42. Which target organ releases glucose into the bloodstream as a result of adrenaline? Liver. 43. Why do mammals sweat? To cool the body. 44. Compared to the hormonal system, the responses of the nervous system are faster and of shorter duration. 45. What is the most important function of sweating? To remove excess heat from the body. 46. What is not an effect of the hormone adrenaline? Decreased production of sweat. 47. A student begins to lose control of her bicycle while traveling down a hill at speed. The concentration of which substance will begin to increase rapidly in her blood? Adrenaline. 48. Which hormone is involved in the conversion of glucose to glycogen? Insulin. 49. Which response produces heat to maintain a person's body temperature? Respiration. 50. When a person is frightened, adrenaline is released by the adrenal glands. What are the effects of adrenaline? Breathing rate, heartbeat rate increased. 51.